Because praying for drought is overrated. Ryan Waterproofing. Call Ryan.com. That's call RION.com.
Bob built a brand over the same 20 years INET has. I bought multiple properties over those years. Bob gets real estate like I never will.
In real estate, every brokerage does the same thing. MLS. Adding auction bidding to MLS, I knew if INET branded it, told our story, home sellers would understand and accept this real estate revolutionizing platform.
You can be the best in your industry like Redefined Realty is. Even revolutionize your industry like Redefined Realty has with auction. Yet, it's your story that sells.
You can't tell your story as well as INET Creative Genius will tell your story.
Real estate for winners is exactly what Redefined Realty and auction has always been.
Steven knocked our brand and marketing out of the park.
Selling a home? If you don't use Redefine's MLS and auction platform, you'll leave closing with less money than you would have. Tragic and that simple.
Websites, branding, design, video, and radio. INET is improving marketing for winners.
INETJustWork.com.
CreativeGeniusMarketing.com.
Real estate for winners. RedefinedRealty.com.
People should be judged for the content of their character, not the straightness of their teeth.
I'm Mila. The gracious, caring staff at Ross Dental makes straight teeth convenient.
Bo, Mila's big brother here. High school social pressure can make students want to be invisible. Ross Dental Straight teeth are confidence building.
With Ross Dental Straight teeth, you and your children will smile like you just don't care because you don't.
Dr. Ross did imaging and ordered virtually invisible plastic trays that fit over our teeth, shifting them ever so slightly.
Every 5 days or so, we start new trays that shift teeth a little more.
Unlike conventional braces, we can take the trays off to eat and brush our teeth, and they cost less.
A bonus for me is clicking in my jaw stopped.
Dr. Ross is a great dentist, and Dad says Ross Dental is the best deal.
Family dentistry, cosmetic whitening, Ross Dental Straight Smiles, and full sedation dentistry. For anxious patients needing substantial restoration. Our mission, your comfort, health, and confidence. Smile like you just don't care, because you don't. RossDentalWI.com.
Imagine your home totally organized. At Closets by Design, we specialize in providing affordable, custom-built storage solutions with built-ins and beyond. From walk-in closets to new laundry rooms and pantries, our experienced designers work within your budget to design a solution fit perfectly to your needs. Get 40% off plus an additional 15% with 18-month financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get started. Let's get organized together.
For superior carpet cleaning, hire a company with over 75 years of experience that will get the job done right the first time. Always clean, always on time. Edelman.
Edelman Carpet, Furniture, and Drapery Cleaning.
It's Edelman again. Edelman.
I'm Josh Sparks, owner of Infinity Exteriors. 9 out of 10. Brand new roofs can't pass a simple manufacturer warranty inspection. Every Infinity roof does.
MJ, Josh's partner here, protecting homeowners for decades to come, always installing roofs, siding, and windows to better than manufacturer warranty specifications is how we built Infinity to the most successful exterior remodeling company in the Midwest.
It's your home, it's your roof. With Infinity, it's all about you.
Infinity passes on buying power no other roofer has, saving you money.
Infinity provides absolute transparency in pricing with our proprietary app, showing exactly what Infinity is going to do and exactly what everything will cost line by line, real time.
No waiting 3 days to a week for a quote.
If you like what you see,
and you will,
Infinity can schedule your new roof, siding, or windows, including financing, right there in your home. No hassle, no waiting.
Warranted, guaranteed quality. Installing peace of mind. InfinityRoofing.com.
That's InfinityRoofing.com.
There's a vile sickness in Abbottstown. You must excise it. Dig into the deep earth and cut it out.
From iHeart Podcasts and Grim and Mild from Aaron Mahnke, this is Havoc Town, a new fiction podcast set in the Bridgewater audio universe. Listen to Havoc Town on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Havoc Town and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Injured? Call Gruber Law. One call, that's all.
Opinion, emotion, passion. This is News Talk 1130 WISN. Classical conservatism. Contemporary style. You're listening to The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Welcome back to it. We do have our streaming issues fixed. Dan O'Donnell Show now live on X at Dan O'Donnell Show there, Facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show, as well as on our YouTube channel. Instagram, I've got to go through another hurdle to get live streaming on that. I will do so very quickly. There was some sort of system update, and then there was a crash. Long story short, we got it working. What's very frustrating is when you get everything set up well before, and then all of a sudden, when you go to use the software and turn on the camera, turn on the stream, oh yeah, you got to update. It's like, I feel like, do you remember the game Fruit Ninja, where you have to like swipe at all the fruit coming on the screen? That's how I feel with all of the notifications from Microsoft or Lenovo, the manufacturer of my laptop, that I need to restart. My organization is requiring that I restart my computer. I swear I only get this in the middle of a live broadcast. It's like, no, I don't want to restart now. Then I'll say, okay, restart at 11:59 p.m. tonight. Okay, I assume it restarted. Next day, do you want to restart your computer? No, I thought you did, computer. I thought we were all on the same page here, but apparently not. Speaking of not being on the same page, Walworth County Court Commissioner Peter Navis on July 15th told ICE officers who came to his courtroom that they needed to present a warrant to him before they arrested a criminal suspect, or at least a suspect who was going to be detained. Now, this came after an honest-to-God criminal suspect who was out on signature bond because, of course, he was driving without a license. He was also convicted of felony stalking in Milwaukee County, but because it was Milwaukee County, he got off with just probation and no actual consequences. Go figure. Later that day, he told ICE officers who showed up that they needed to see a warrant because the judges of Walworth County, who actually do set policy in the courtroom, told him, Court Commissioner Peter Navis, that the ICE officers needed to show him, Peter Navis, a warrant. That most certainly did not happen. And in fact, the judges said, we didn't say that. You lied about what it was that we said. You lied, therefore, to a law enforcement officer. You may not respect said law enforcement officer, but he or she still is a law enforcement officer. Navis is trying to, because of course he's a left-winger, knowing nothing about him other than that which I read in the Journal Sentinel's online story. I could have told you within about 4 paragraphs that this guy is a diehard lefty. He's also completely lying about why he was fired. He's claiming it's because he dared to ask a sheriff's deputy for a warrant. No, it's because he told a subsequent ICE officer who came to arrest a different guy than the criminal that Navis was attempting to protect, that the judges had told him, hey, you need to see a warrant. I need to see your warrant. I need to inspect it and make sure it's valid before I turn over this poor, helpless, illegal immigrant criminal to you. I told you he wanted to be Hannah Dugan so badly. He went to the Journal Sentinel because he's trying to peddle now a false story about why it was he was given the ultimatum, all right, either resign or be fired. It wasn't because he asked for the warrant. It's because he lied about what the judge's policy was. If I went on the air, and this also is why he consulted with one of the judges, a woman named Detwaller or something like that. I apologize. I'm sure she's a very fine judge, but I took off my reading glasses and I can't read the copy in front of my face, and I'm going by memory. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm largely blind. She said, undoubtedly, no, you don't need to see a warrant, Peter. They can do what they're going to do. Instead of relaying that to the ICE officer, he said, no, the judge has told me I'm going to need to see a warrant. He lied. This is why also in the Journal Sentinel story, he says he would not say what the judge told him because that would prove that he's lying to the Journal Sentinel, that he was lying to that ICE officer, and that he was fired because he was lying. You're listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. We will be back to name the unhinged liberal of the day in just 5 minutes.
From the Lynch Truck Center in Waterford, Total Traffic Center.
Southbound on 894 going to be stopping and going from the Zoo interchange down to Lincoln, where you got a crash on the exit ramp. Eastbound on 94, jam from Highway 100 to the Zoo, and again from 84th over to 35th. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. This Labor Day at Lowe's, get up to 40% off select major appliances, plus get next day delivery on hundreds of appliances. Valid on eligible in-stock orders through 9/10/25. Selection varies by location. Order by 4 p.m. subject to product and driver availability. Fees based on purchase. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Bob from Redefine Realty with a riddle for you. Guess correctly before I give the answer, and you are a winner. Only agents from one real estate company already know the answer. Ready? Pay attention. Here goes. I'm a contest between 4 or 5, even 10 people that only ends when one absolute winner is declared, yet I have 2 winners. What am I? You got it? Are you a winner? Need more time? No, it's not the record at auction sale price of $2 million for a Wu-Tang Clan vinyl record. That's an impressive guess, though. Selling a home? Only Redefine Realty's proprietary method guarantees buyers get every opportunity to pay you maximum dollar and that you will leave closing with maximum profit. One more time. I'm a contest between 4 or 5, even 10 people that only ends when one absolute winner is declared, yet I have 2 winners. What am I? The answer is a Redefined Realty MLS home sale boosted by Easy Home Bidder Auction. Buyers win, sellers win. Let yourself win. Real estate for winners. RedefinedRealty.com.
I'm Victor Harding. If you or someone you love is injured, I highly recommend Best Lawyers Complex Litigation Lawyer of the Year, Warshevsky's Frank Cravello.
Frank here. If you're injured, the quality of your attorney and law firm will likely have greater impact on the compensation you receive than even the facts of your case. I highly recommend Best Lawyers Product Liability Attorney of the Year, Warshevsky's Victor Harding.
The quality of your attorney and law firm are huge factors in the compensation injured Wisconsinites receive. Injured?
It is about the money.
Warshevsky.com.
Step into your next chapter at Clement Manor Senior Living Community in Greenfield. Join the open house and tours in their independent living on August 28th from 2 to 4 p.m. Explore a vibrant, welcoming neighborhood where residents enjoy caring staff, restaurant-style dining, an on-site chapel, wellness and exercise programs, salon and spa, lifelong learning classes, and enriching activities. Plus, enjoy live music, sweet treats, and more. Discover your new beginning at Clement Manor. Visit ClementManor.com for more information.
Hi, it's Jay. Let's talk about the roof on your home. A lot of you will need to replace your roof this summer, but be forewarned, there are roofing companies out there that skip over the most important part of the process, the attic ventilation. If your attic doesn't have proper air circulation, it can cause problems like mold and wood rot, leaks in the winter, not to mention higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I recommend Semperfi Roofing to my listeners. Their process begins with a free 21-point roof inspection that includes a thorough inspection of your attic. They know that if the ventilation isn't right, the roof will be built on a shaky foundation. Every Semperfi roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financing incentives are available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and estimate today, 262-600-2910, or book an appointment online at semperfiroofing.com.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves. Are you talking about the One Collection? Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One Collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move statewide.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
WISN. Big taxers, big spenders, political cronies, global warming alarmists, charlatans, liars, scam artists, and feeders at the public trough. The threats to your happiness are many, but that's where we can help. News Talk 1130 WISN. Our truth shall keep you free.
Remember that massive $500 million judgment that the Trump organization was ordered to pay for defrauding nobody? Well, it just got knocked down to 0 on appeal because it violated the 8th Amendment. We will get into that in the 4 o'clock hour, plus the daily Trump date, as well as an interview with Washington County Executive, as well as gubernatorial candidate Josh Showman, following a recent poll showing that Congressman Tom Tiffany would be a prohibitive favorite were he to jump in the race for the Republican nomination. Before we get to any of that, however, it is time now to name the unhinged liberal of the day.
Trump
is Hitler. We are in pre-Nazi Germany.
All white people are racist.
Trump is dangerous because he's evil. America is over.
Today's unhinged liberal of the day is California Governor Gavin Newsom, who is sort of the amalgam of every single Democratic consultant's advice. You got to swear more. You got to take the fight to conservatives. You got to go on social media and mock Trump. If you haven't noticed, the Newsom press office has been tweeting exclusively in all caps and finishing all of his anti-Trump screeds with "thank you for your attention to this matter," which has become sort of Trump's catchphrase whenever he posts something on Truth Social. It's all rather cringe, as the kids say. Just like this interview that he gave on a podcast yesterday in which he said, yeah, we got to punch Republicans in the mouth.
This is radical rigging of a midterm election. Radical rigging of an election. Destroying, vandalizing this democracy, the rule of law. So I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
Now, he's speaking metaphorically, of course. Did you notice he got 2 swear words in there? I'm not even sure if I needed to bleep out the B word, but I know a lot of kids are listening to me on their way to football practice or whatnot with mom. So I said, I didn't even notice the first time I heard that soundbite that he said, it's a damn different. Oh, Gavin, yeah, you keep that obscenity coming so they know you care. They know you're going to fight those Republicans. I'm telling you, Newsom is simultaneously the most stereotypical 1980s movie villain and stereotypical cookie cutter politician I have ever seen. And frankly, in the age of Trump, I'm not sure the American people have an appetite for either. Sadly for the Democrats, though, He's the best they got. Gavin Newsom is your unhinged liberal of the day. What was going on at the Trump White House? We will get you a complete rundown. The Daily Trump Date is next, right after the news.
All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the Annex Wealth Management Studios. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Listen to Benjamin Yount, weekday mornings 9 to 11 on News Talk 1130 WISN Milwaukee. And make WISN the #1 preset on your car radio and on the new iHeart app. Free never sounded so good.
Good afternoon, I'm Sean Maloney. Hurricane Aaron battered North Carolina's Outer Banks with strong winds and waves that flooded part of the main highway today as the monster-sized storm slowly begins to move away from the East Coast. Quick Trip has settled a workers' disability complaint for $35,000. According to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, Quick Trip intended to accommodate the workers' medical restrictions but misinterpreted the request and reduced her schedule to 9 hours a week, forcing her to resign. Business news brought to you by the Good Feet store. The Dow was down 152 points today. S&P 500 down almost 26 points, and the NASDAQ down 72.5 points. Checking the Holiday Automotive of Final Act Sports scoreboard, the Brewers are currently taking on the Cubs, looking to end a 3-game losing streak. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin News Center, I'm Sean Maloney on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
Clear and quiet tonight with low temperatures in the low 60s. Patchy fog is possible by morning, then more sunshine and warmer with a high around 80. Also a bit more humid. Slight chance for shower or storms early Saturday, then more sun. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Barrichello.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
This week on Red Pilled America, we tell the story of Douglas Mackey, the man that faced a decade in prison. His crime? He posted a meme. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America, a storytelling show.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF and see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
August is the final month of the summer savings event at Cunis, and the best deals just got hotter. Don't miss the final weeks of this exclusive event at nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis locations in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and the new Cunis Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. We've refreshed new vehicle savings. GMC, and check your local dealer website for a new set of 10 pre-owned super specials. With fall and winter on the horizon, check out our service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Brian Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear Lifetime Powertrain Warranty, included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Get outside and enjoy the summer savings event at Cunis. Start your search online at CunisMilwaukee.com.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands. Dan O'Donnell here for Mander Collision and Glass, which really is your best decision after a collision. I've been trusting my vehicles with Mander for years, and I've referred dozens of family members and friends there. All of them say the exact same thing as Mander customer Adam, who left this 5-star review. Your car will be in great hands here. Brian and Crystal took amazing care of my BMW M4. I had dents and scratches from a tree branch falling on my car, and they made sure that the car was taken care of. Everyone at Mander was professional and timely. I hope I don't need their services anytime soon, but if I do, I'll be back. Mander has locations across the greater Milwaukee and Waukesha area, so getting to one is easy and convenient. And starting your repair is just as easy and even more convenient. All you need to do is head online to mandercollision.com.
Your home cleaning friend, it's Edelman again. Edelman.
The talk shows on WISN Radio. Not for the faint of heart and not for the feeble of mind. News Talk 1130 WISN. Fact is, until you've heard us, you haven't heard the whole story. Critical events drive critical times, and these are the times to learn critical lessons. Recent events should teach us that the struggle for liberty is ongoing, and forces that are misguided or sinister stand at the ready to take our liberties away. At News Talk 1130 WISN, we are dedicated to identifying the risks to our freedoms as they arise, and to alert you to those risks, valuing our liberties and our rights. This is News Talk 1130 WISN.
We talked with Republican candidate Bill Berrien yesterday here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Today, we talk with the other named Republican in the race, Josh Showman, that is coming up at about 4:35. We will get to Mr. Showman, or now I'm second guessing myself because I think I might have actually scheduled it at 5:20. At some point, I left my outline for today's show in the office and have just sort of been winging it from here. At some point, I promise you people, Showman, the greatest showman. In fact, come on. That's pretty much got to be his nickname, right? If I'm doing campaign lit, I'm putting him in a top hat like, who was it that played the greatest showman? My goodness, Wolverine. Why can't I think of his name? Hugh Jackman. You put him in like a little red coat, a top hat, the greatest showman. And that draws people's attention. And then you get into his platform. I'm telling you, if more people would listen to me, well, Showman would probably be widely laughed at. But beside the point, I think it's a good pun. Welcome back. You want to join the Dan O'Donnell Show, 414-799-1130. You can also reach us toll free, 1-800-838-9476. Email me directly, dod@iheartmedia.com. We are streaming live at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, on Facebook, on Instagram. Heck, we're even on LinkedIn. And, of course, we are streaming on YouTube. Time now for a look back at what happened at the White House today. It's your daily Trump Day.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning.
Trump just keeps winning.
It is a win for the administration.
It's also a big win for the United States.
We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
Big surprise this morning when President Trump announced that he's going to go on patrol with the D.C. police being backed by the National Guard.
Fox can confirm that President Trump will go on patrol tonight in our nation's capital with law enforcement and military personnel at his side. President Trump broke the news today in a radio interview, and we expect more reportable details shortly.
Now, the White House has been not totally forthcoming on those details, not because they don't want to, but because obviously it is a massive security concern. They can't say, okay, he's going to be at this intersection at precisely this amount of time. Unfortunately, we will all remember Butler, Pennsylvania. President Trump said in an interview with our good friend, Todd Starnes, on his national radio show, he's going to personally join law enforcement and National Guard troops this evening. Now, we do believe that patrol to begin any minute now. This announcement follows his actions on August 11th when he declared a public safety emergency in D.C., deploying 800 National Guard troops and placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under federal control for a 30-day period. Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance was in Atlanta today, meeting with members of the Republican National Committee and talking about the successes the Trump administration has had, most notably in combating illegal immigration. Now, he said this isn't just good news from a law enforcement perspective, but also it's great news for members of the working class.
If you go back 50, 60 years, what is the fastest period for blue-collar wages rising in the United States of America? It is the time that we are living in right now, thanks to the economic policies of Donald J. Trump. You know what the worst thing for people at the bottom of the income ladder is? It's when you flood the country with millions upon millions of illegal aliens and force our poor Americans to compete for jobs against low-wage foreigners who don't even have the legal right to be here.
In fact, multiple studies did confirm that. Now, those studies are roughly 14 years old. Why? Because the studies confirmed that, and people stopped looking into whether massive illegal immigration helps keep wages for native-born workers down. Not only does it absolutely do that, it keeps them out of the workforce, and it also drives up the price of rent and mortgages. The price of homes explodes because there are suddenly more people competing for the same number of resources. Now, Vice President Vance didn't stop there, saying that illegal immigration is also jeopardizing America's welfare, like SNAP benefits, Social Security, and Medicare, Medicaid.
We are going to bankrupt this country if we keep on giving the people's benefits, the people's Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security benefits to illegal aliens who have no legal right to be in this country and never paid into the system to begin with. That is never the design of those programs, is to give them to every person all over the world. They ought by right to belong to the American citizens who paid into those programs to begin with. And that's what we're fighting to make sure happens.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is your daily Trump date. The most significant thing that happened today, however, was not at the White House, but rather in a New York appeals court, in which an appeals court judge in New York struck down the massive damage award that New York's Attorney General, Letitia James, and also the judge, remember, Arthur Engoron, you couldn't escape him, as vehemently anti-Trump as he was. There was a liability finding. It's not guilty. Criminal in New York, one criminal, one civil. This is the civil one. And the civil court found that the damage award of more than $500 million against President Trump was in fact unconstitutional because it violated Trump's Eighth Amendment rights. It was in fact cruel and or unusual. The appellate court tossed out that monetary judgment for civil business fraud. This was related to the lawsuit by State Attorney General Letitia James. The appeals court said the eye-popping penalty, which rose to more than $500 million since it was first imposed in early 2024, it violates the Eighth Amendment. It's not, I was being somewhat facetious there. It's not cruel and unusual. You also can't impose excessive fines, which is, I would argue, also cruel and unusual. But the court in the same ruling did uphold the Manhattan Supreme Court and Judge Engoron and his finding that Trump and the others involved in this alleged fraud did in fact commit business fraud by overstating the value of real estate assets owned by the Trump Organization to boost Trump's purported net worth. Those actions, Engoron claimed, helped the company get better loan terms and other financial benefits. Now, let's examine this, shall we? The ruling is going to go back to Engoron, who very clearly exceeded what would be a normal damage award finding when he issued this judgment because he was so clouded with anti-Trump bias. First of all, the fact that this case was even brought at all is not surprising, but also a product of the incredible bias shown by the Attorney General. Letitia James, who herself is ironically now under investigation for mortgage fraud by falsely making representations in order to get more favorable loan terms, claiming that she lived in Virginia when she very obviously did not, since she was running for and serving as Attorney General of New York at the time, and also claimed that her father, who co-signed on her mortgage with her, was actually her husband, something also done to secure a more favorable loan term. Frankly, I think they've got her dead to rights on that. I'm not sure if it necessarily constitutes mortgage fraud per se, but it definitely is a criminal misrepresentation on an official document. I don't know if it rises to the level of fraud, but it to me is very clear criminal activity, and the irony is just too delicious there. James herself, though, should not have been allowed to prosecute this case because of the insane anti-Trump bias that she showed, not just in bringing the case, not just in our public statements about the case, but going way back to 2018 when she was first running for Attorney General. She was promising to prosecute Trump. In fact, her entire platform was, I am going to go prosecute Trump on behalf of the people of New York. She didn't say what she was going to prosecute him for. What's the old saying? It's attributed to Stalin: find me the man and I will find you the crime. She said, I'm going to go after Trump. Elect me and I will use the power of my office to go after Donald Trump. That's about the worst possible thing you can say when running for a position of power like that. We put together a montage of all the different times she said it back in 2018.
No one is above the law, including this illegitimate president. And so, I look forward to going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing him, defending your rights, and then going home.
Will you sue him for us? Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
We'll never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake. I believe that the president of these United States can be indicted for criminal offenses. In addition to that, the Office of Attorney General will continue to follow the money because we believe that he's engaged in a pattern and practice of money laundering, laundering the money from foreign governments here in New York State, and particularly related to his real estate holdings. It's important that everyone understand that the days of Donald Trump are coming to an end.
That's downright chilling when you think about it. Imagine I ran for Attorney General, okay? I think Eric Toney is probably going to run again. But let's say I said, you know what? People really seem to like Toney. He's a nice guy. He's a great friend of the Dan O'Donnell Show. But I need something that's going to separate myself from Eric Toney. If I ran on a campaign of nothing but I am going to prosecute Tony Evers. I don't know what for, but I know he has committed criminal acts. He has committed misconduct in public office. And if I am elected as Wisconsin's Attorney General, the days of Tony Evers will come to an end. That sounds way more fascist-like than anything I dare say Trump has ever said. Even Republicans, I think, would be rightly a tad put off by that. Like, wait a second. What are your qualifications? Well, I'm going to go after Tony Evers. Well, Dan, don't you have a vision for law enforcement? They say, nope, going to go after Deadbeat Barnes too. I'm sure he's committed some crimes in there, so I'm going to use the power of my office to just go after those. Anybody else you guys don't like? Tammy Baldwin? Hell yeah, we're going to investigate. We're going to prosecute her. Days of Tammy Baldwin are coming to an end. We're going to put her inside a jail cell. Whoa, hey, okay. With that, I think I just got 90% of the MAGA vote. Sorry, Eric Toney. I'm the Republican nominee now. I don't make the rules. I should have had a better platform. Just promise to prosecute and jail all of the people your voters don't like. Yeah, Rachel Maddow, if she ever comes to Wisconsin, I heard a rumor that she goes fishing in Wisconsin every now and again. The second she steps foot in Wisconsin as Attorney General, I am going to have my people arrest her. For what? Doesn't matter. She's here. We don't like her. We know she must have committed some crimes. We're going to take her. Seriously, is there a liberal listening to me right now who can say with a straight face, you would be totally cool with that? If my entire 2026 Attorney General platform was arrest the people you don't like. And then she does. And then she launches a case against Trump using a statute that is never, ever, ever used or ever has been used to the degree that she did. We will get into that aspect of the story when the Dan O'Donnell Show returns. Stay tuned. We're back in just 3 minutes.
Conservative thought, not just talk. The Dan O'Donnell Show will be right back.
From the Lynch Buick GMC of West Bend Total Traffic Center.
On your westbound 94 trip, you're stopping and going from 16th over to Mitchell Boulevard. Then you're jammed solid from Moreland to before Highway F because of a vehicle fire that takes out the 2 right lanes. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
This week on Red Pilled America, we tell the story of Douglas Mackey, the man that faced a decade in prison. His crime? He posted a meme. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America, a storytelling show.
Our home sure feels empty now that the kids are gone. Maybe it's time to start thinking about a new home in a size that fits our life. With Volinsky Condos, we'll get peace of mind without sacrificing amenities. Plus, accessibility features like the no-step garage entry and wide hallways allow us to live comfortably today and 10 years from now. Visit Volinsky.com to learn more.
I'm Ryan Harrison, owner of Ryan Waterproofing. Does it seem like storms travel hundreds of miles out of their way against prevailing winds to keep your basement damp, wet, moldy, even flooded? It isn't going to resolve itself. Freezing and thawing over time expands damage to walls, foundations, and even your family's health. That's not purified water seeping or running through your basement walls. It's filth, carrying every sort of bacteria, fungus, and mold. Only Ryan Waterproofing has an estimator project coordinator you'll love. Ashley's expert, honest, and will make you comfortable with the solutions proposed, and she'll be with you every step of the project. Doesn't matter how bad the cracks or sag in your basement walls are. Ryan has affordable sealant and water abatement solutions for most basements with convenient financing options, including 18 months, no interest financing. You actually might enjoy walking in the rain when it's not in your basement. Contact Ryan today because praying for drought is overrated. Ryan Waterproofing. Call Ryan.com. That's call RION.com. Call Ryan.com.
There are only a handful of carpet cleaning companies in the country who guarantee results, and we're one of them. It's no wonder why we're Wisconsin's most trusted carpet cleaner.
Edelman Carpet Furniture and Drapery Cleaning.
It's Edelman again. Edelman. For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. Make News Talk 1130 WISN your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app, powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
This is where sycophants and chills are shunned, and commitment to the unvarnished truth is sustained. Just one reason that this is Wisconsin's most listened to radio station. News Talk 1130, WISN.
All right, who else do you people want to see Attorney General Dan O'Donnell throw in jail? Obama? Bill Clinton? I'll tell you what, we're going to open up our own Epstein Files investigation. Oh, there's a good one. My producer, Jeff, just said Craig Counsell. All right, that's it. This is my pledge to you, Wisconsin. If elected Attorney General, I will ensure that Craig Counsell sees the inside of a jail cell before he ever sees the inside of a Chicago Cubs dugout again. Now, if you just heard that and thought, oh my God, Dan O'Donnell has gone nuts, you probably haven't heard Letitia James' constant rantings about how, as Attorney General, if elected, she would ensure that Donald Trump sees the inside of a prison cell.
No one is above the law, including this illegitimate president. And so, I look forward to going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing him, defending your rights, and then going home.
Will you sue him for us? Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
We'll never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake. I believe that the president of these United States can be indicted for criminal offenses. In addition to that, the Office of Attorney General will continue to follow the money because we believe that he's engaged in a pattern and practice of money laundering the money from foreign governments here in New York State, and particularly related to his real estate holdings. It's important that everyone understand that the days of Donald Trump are coming to an end.
It is important that people understand the days of Craig Counsell are coming to an end. We believe he is engaged in a pattern of innings laundering, specifically through the use of his bullpen. I will pledge to you, my fellow Wisconsinites, that no one is above the law. Not even this illegitimate Chicago Cubs manager. By the way, the Brewers did beat the Cubs today to salvage 2 wins in this very rare 5-game series necessitated because of an earlier rainout, which then got rained out again. A doubleheader scheduled for Monday was in fact played on Tuesday. Brewers win today 4-1 over the Cubs. This is their major league leading 80th win of the season. Congratulations to the Brew Crew. Coming up, if we have time, I don't want to overpromise and then not deliver. If we have time, a fantastic first-person essay written by, I think, a Journal Sentinel writer. He sounds like a college kid. He came to Milwaukee from Massachusetts and wrote about how yesterday getting his free burger at George Webb made him feel totally at home. It made him feel like a Milwaukeean. It's just it was what I was talking about all last week, and I think into this week, about just the importance, the uniqueness of the Milwaukee community. No, I am not actually planning on arresting Craig Counsell. Am I the only one who doesn't see the irrational hate for the man? Yes, pretending that he had never seen a George Webb, even though he grew up in Whitefish Bay. His dad worked for the Brewers. He clearly knew what George Webb was. The George Webb's promises or predicts the Brewers will win 12 straight was clearly a thing when he was living here and managing the team. In fact, while he was manager, they won 12 straight games in 2018. It's the weirdest lie that he told. I don't get it. But I also don't get, look, the Brewers didn't want to pay him what he felt that he was worth, and he took a different opportunity. He clearly valued still being close to home, and I believe he does still maintain a home here in Southeast Wisconsin. He happened to go to the team's arch rivals. Yeah, that stinks. Kind of happens all the time. Years ago, I got offered more money to go from another radio station, which is the arch rival of WISN, or at least it was when they actually challenged us in the ratings. And here I am today. So maybe I see a little of myself in Craig Counsell, only way worse at playing baseball and not nearly as well off financially. I think it can be safely assumed WISN did not offer me $8 million a year. Yeah, I don't know. I've just always been a fan of Counsell. Sue me, I still like the guy. I like the fact that the Brewers are in first and that the Cubs are really ticked off at Craig Counsell, even though they've been playing very good baseball pretty much the entire season. The Brewers are just a better team. But hey, that's just me. So Attorney General Letitia James, who campaigned on arresting Trump, on prosecuting Trump, on suing Trump, saying the days of Trump are going to come to an end, secured a finding of liability, not a conviction. This was a civil case under New York's Executive Law 6312. It allows the Attorney General to address what the Attorney General would determine to be persistent fraud without proving intent to defraud, intent to deceive, or, and this is critical, without proving that anyone was actually harmed by the alleged fraud. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I did get my law degree. I don't practice, but I'm fairly certain for a crime to be committed or for a civil tort to be committed, you need to have a victim, right? And in order for there to be a fraud, there would have to be some, I don't know, fraud. Did Trump inflate the value of his properties? Maybe. I don't believe so. Mar-a-Lago was sort of a classic example that he said it was worth $400 million. Rush Limbaugh, the late, great Rush Limbaugh, his widow sold his house nearby in Palm Beach for $100 million, okay? This is what Arthur Engeron, the judge in this case, Letitia James, said, okay, at the very high end, Mar-a-Lago is worth $100 million right now, okay? Rush Limbaugh's widow sold their house for $100 million. It's a tear down. It's a tear down. Do you have any idea how insane that is? First, because the land is infinitely more valuable than the actual house. You can buy build a mansion on the property for $10-15 million, which is, peas in the, a drop in the bucket. But it's the lake, or the lakefront, the oceanfront property that makes it so insanely valuable. A building that was so out of style and out of date. Sorry, Rush, I love you. I would keep your house the way it was in honor of you if I had $100-some million to buy it. A house that wasn't even determined to be good enough to keep standing is worth what the Mar-a-Lago Club and Golf Resort is worth? Okay, if you say so, Your Honor. But nobody, and I mean nobody, ever claimed to be defrauded. The banks, who are very, sharp people, they are very. They don't just take Trump's word for it, okay? You love Trump, I love Trump, but let's face it, the man is a master of what's known in sales as puffery, right? When I say I don't want to overpromise and then not deliver, Trump overpromises all the time. It's what he does. It's how he talks. The guy exaggerates. He's Donald Trump. Everybody expects that he does this. Do you think a bank is going to say, well, Trump is telling us that Mar-a-Lago is worth $90 billion. In fact, he originally told us it was worth 11 kajillion. Do you think we should take his word for it? Yeah, of course. Give him the loan. $11 kajillion, sir. We'll take Mar-a-Lago as collateral. Why? No, they do their own assessments. Nobody was defrauded. Trump paid back every single cent of every single. Nobody claimed to be a victim. How can you be liable for fraud if nobody was defrauded? This is an unconstitutional law. In fact, speaking of President Trump, shoot, you know what? We're going to have to move things around, but I do want to get to this. He is speaking live now on patrol on the streets of Washington, D.C. Let's go live to the president.
Best in the world. We're going to do what you're doing with law enforcement. And very importantly, also, we're going to physically do it. We're going back to Congress for some money, and we're going to redo a lot of the pavement, a lot of the medians, a lot of the graffiti's all coming off real fast. It's going to come down real fast. We're working with Clark Construction. They're one of the big ones. They're the biggest here by far, actually. And we're going to be not so much building, it's cleaning and fixing and redoing and putting brand new surfaces down on your roads and streets. And when people come in from the airport all the way to the Capitol or the White House or any place else they go, and they're going to say, boy, this place is spotless. So we're doing that. Most importantly, though, we're going to have a crowd of people that are going to be happy. You know, I've received more phone calls from people in the last 4 days than I ever have. I've been here now 4 years plus. And by the way, I think we had about the best 7 months they're saying that any president's had. We've done a lot of work. We've done a lot of good work, including the biggest tax cuts that you've ever had. I know you guys don't care about taxes, so you don't care about saving a little tax, but you saved a lot of tax, actually. But we've had a great period of time. But I've never received so many phone calls thanking me for what we've done in Washington, D.C., from people that haven't gone to a restaurant literally in 4 years. And they said, you know, what you've done it's unprecedented, because what they said, it was just unsafe. We couldn't do it. We'd go out and you'd see the stories, you'd read the stories, you'd see all of the things that are happening. And they said, we couldn't stand it, sir. And now I take my wife and my kids to dinner. One of them said he's gone out 4 nights in a row, and he hadn't gone out for 4 years. So it's a great tribute to you. And when I look at you people, I understand why, because there's no games, right? We're not playing games. We're going to make it safe. And we're going to then go on to other places. But we're going to stay here for a while. We want to make this absolutely perfect. It's our capital. And I guess it used to be many years ago safe, but it's certainly not had a a very good run. And you got to be strong. You got to be tough. You got to do your job. Whatever it takes to do your job, you got to do your job. But the crime numbers are way down. I'm looking at, you saw some of the stats. They just read them out to me inside. The numbers that we haven't seen here ever. And I think it's probably right now, it's to me, I feel very safe now. And I'm hearing people are very safe, but I know within 2 weeks, it's going to be, Pam, it's going to be at a level that's even far superior. So I just wanted to thank you all. You're doing incredible. You're incredible people. You make the country run, frankly. You make the whole place run. We're going to have the best Capitol ever. We're going to have it's going to look better than it ever did. Even at the White House, I'm building a ballroom. They've been after a ballroom for 150 years, but they never had a real estate guy as a president. You know, I've done a lot of ballrooms, and we're going to make this one the best of them all. But we're doing a real job. As far as the country's concerned, we're respected again. We had a country that was laughed at a year ago. They thought they couldn't understand what was happening. And it's about leadership. But we had a country that was a dead country in many ways. Went to Saudi Arabia. I went to Qatar. I went to UAE. We came back with $5.1 trillion of investment in this country. And we're over 17 trillion. Now, a lot of you don't know what that means. And nobody knows what it means because it's never happened before. In 5 months, because really it's a 5 month, even though we're here 7, but we started 5 months ago in terms of investment. And we have, because they see what's happened to our country, we're going to be over 17 trillion with a T, dollars of investment. There's never been anything close. If we did 1 trillion in a year, and we're talking about over a 5 month period, maybe 6 months if you look at it, but over $17 trillion. We're building plants, auto plants, AI plants, all sorts of plants all over the country. I'm giving them the right. Lee Zeldin's done a fantastic job. We give him the right to build electric plants. They become almost like a public utility because we have old grids. We have a lot of stuff that's old. We wouldn't be able to compete with China AI. And now we're totally leading the AI race and the artificial intelligence. It's a big deal. And it's the hottest thing there is for probably in 35, 40 years. It's a lot of people don't know what it is. Just trust me, it's very hot. It's big. But they need massive amounts of electricity. They need more electricity than we have right now in the whole country servicing everything. In other words, we have to at least double it up to be competitive and to be leading. And we're more than doubling it up. And what I'm doing is I'm letting all of these very rich companies, and they've got nothing, but they got a lot of money, and they want to invest it in the United States. And they're building big plants, but they're building electric plants with it. I said, you build your building, and these are buildings that cost $30, $40, $50 billion when you include everything that's inside, all the technology. I said, I'm going to let you build electric plants to fire your own electricity, and anything that you have left over, you sell it back into the grid. So all of these big factories that are being built are building their own electric plants fired by oil and gas. They're not fired by wind, by the way, because wind doesn't work, but we won't say that. It destroys everything. It looks terrible. It's a very expensive form of energy. And we're not doing wind. We're going back to fossil fuel. I hope not too many of you people are going to be upset, but we have to go back to what works. We can't be foolish. But we're building massive electric plants all over the country. The companies are building, and then they sell it back into.
Okay, I really hate to do this, folks, but I'm just looking at the clock, and we do need to head to commercial break. Trust me, I love a good Trump windmill screed as much as the next guy. We'll summarize what he said. I've got 2 commercial breaks I've got to get to in like the next, 18 minutes? We'll be back right here on the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
On your westbound 94 trip, you're stopping and going from 16th over to Mitchell Boulevard. Then you're jammed solid from Moreland to before Highway F because of a vehicle fire that takes out the 2 right lanes. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
This week on Red Pilled America, we tell the story of Douglas Mackey, the man that faced a decade in prison. His crime? He posted a meme. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America, a storytelling show.
You, Las Vegas, and the best musical artists on the globe. Sounds delightfully combustible, right? Win a trip for two to the iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One. 3 times each weekday. Text in a keyword and you might be a winner in the nationwide iHeartRadio Music Festival Flyaway Contest. Also in the prize package, $1,000.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival Flyaway Contest is sponsored locally by the friendly experts at Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. With 1,300 vehicles in one place, it's worth the trip. HolidayAutomotive.com.
You got to get to Built Right today. Dan here for my longtime friends at Built Right Furniture. Built Right's biggest Labor Day mattress sale is on now. Their one location saves you time and money, and they make it easy to shop and easy to buy. Built Right beats any big box, national, or local chain store, employee-free store, online retailer, or warehouse club because they have the guaranteed lowest prices. Built Right has the best value selection and most experienced team, over 60 models and 500 mattresses in stock. Choose from the best mattress brands made in the USA: Heirloom, Therapeutic, Restonic, Schiffman, and Gold Bond. Built Right specializes in hard-to-find flippable and heavy-duty mattresses. Plus, they offer free delivery and removal on mattress-only purchases of $799 or more. Built Right always saves you money. Voted best place to shop and open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, they're closed to be with family. Tell them Dan sent you to Built Right.
I'm Victor Harding, a true trial attorney at Warshevsky Law. You've heard our advertising for years. While it's been effective introducing Warshevsky to injured people in need of maximum judgments and settlements, most of our clients come from personal referral. Referrals from former clients grateful for the settlement or trial judgment Warshevsky won on their behalf. Thus, they're recommending us to friends and family. Referrals from people in the community, including other lawyers and judges who want to make sure their friends and family are taken care of. Still not sure? Ask around. Warshevsky is referred by Wisconsin law enforcement officers who've seen Warshevsky attorneys in action, desperate to make sure friends and family receive just compensation. Insurance adjusters, often our adversaries, refer their family members hurt in accidents. They know the work we do. They all refer Warshevsky because, big case or small, we can help. If someone you love is injured, please let them know, because at the end of their ordeal, their injury is about the money. Warshevsky.com.
Hi, it's Jay. Let's talk about the roof on your home. A lot of you will need to replace your roof this summer, but be forewarned, there are roofing companies out there that skip over the most important part of the process, the attic ventilation. If your attic doesn't have proper air circulation, it can cause problems like mold and wood rot, leaks in the winter, not to mention higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I recommend Semperfi Roofing to my listeners. Their process begins with a free 21-point roof inspection that includes a thorough inspection of your attic. They know that if the ventilation isn't right, the roof will be built on a shaky foundation. Every Semperfi roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financing incentives are available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and estimate today, 262-600-2910, or book an appointment online at semperfiroofing.com.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
Trees on the Move's field clearing sale is on now with savings up to 75%. 20 to 30-foot maples, elms, oaks, honey locust, and more. 12 to 18-foot spruce, arborvitae, and junipers are on sale too. Trees on the Move has to clear 40 acres, and this is your chance to buy big and save big. These trees are great for newer existing homes, landscape projects, or replacing trees lost to disease or storm damage. Trees on the Move's field clearing sale, Monday through Friday from 8 to 4, Saturday 9 to 4, or see treesonthemove.com.
This Sunday, it's the Big Three Championship between the Miami 305 and the Chicago Triplets. This epic fight for the title pits Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson against Montrezl Harrell. In their regular season meeting, Montrezl exploded for 28 points and dominated the Chicago win. Can Beasley and crew win the rematch when it counts the most? The action starts with the Big Three's 8th annual All-Star Game, featuring Dwight Howard, Greg Monroe, Jordan Crawford, Jonathan Simmons, Glenn Rice Jr., Corey Brewer, and more. The no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific on CBS.
Injured? Call Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Get into summer with iHeart80s. Rewind to a decade in music that defined a generation. From Madonna to Michael and more. iHeart 80s goes commercial free this weekend and every weekend. Open the free iHeart app, search iHeart 80s, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio. Committed to covering the important stories and issues that the rest of the media won't touch. This is Wisconsin's most listened to radio station. News Talk 1130, WISN.
Coming up at 5:20, I was able to get my show outline. Sue me, I couldn't remember. The times I usually schedule interviews are 4:35 or 5:20, so I had a 50-50 chance of being correct. 5:20, we're going to talk with Josh Showman about his run for governor, how the cleanup efforts are going in Washington County. FEMA is on the ground today across southeast Wisconsin doing damage assessments. Hopefully, they will be able to provide relief. It is a specific dollar figure that they estimate the damage hits before people qualify for FEMA disaster assistance. And it would be a huge thing if southeast Wisconsin got it, because a lot of people checked their homeowners insurance policies and realized that they did not have flood coverage. You may think that you don't need it, that you don't live anywhere near water, but if there is the option for flood coverage, now some homeowners policies will say, okay, a sewer backup, if a sewer backs up into your house, okay, then you're covered. Sometimes not even that. If it's flood damage, if it's just water in your basement, if it's any sort of water damage, it just won't be covered. You have to get specific flood insurance, which, give me a break. When there is FEMA disaster assistance available, the federal government is able to provide funds to help people out. Now, by the way, I do hope you understand how upset people were in North Carolina last fall following the flooding there, when FEMA was providing all manner of assistance to illegal aliens, and Ukraine, for goodness sakes, they're providing foreign aid, but aren't able to take care of people who lost everything in those floods in Asheville following the hurricane last September. And they provided, what, $700? Kamala Harris announced, well, we're going to provide you $700 to take care of the necessity. Okay, well, I just lost my entire house. What am I going to buy? I don't even know if I could buy a Barbie dream house for that. Hopefully, damage assessments come in there, that we get to the threshold where we would be able to get some assistance here. President Trump, as well as Interior Secretary Doug Burgum, and now Attorney General Pam Bondi, as well as U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, are talking as President Trump prepares to go out on patrol with the National Guard, as well as other federal forces, following the takeover of Washington, D.C. Guess how many homicides there have been in D.C. in the 7 days since Trump deployed the National Guard? I believe the official deployment was 1 week ago today. 0. No homicides. Carjackings down 83%. Robberies down 46%. Overall violent crime down 22%. Wouldn't you know it, that sort of stuff works. Now, of course, the left is still crowing about the fact that, well, you conservatives claim to care about crime. How can you support a man who was convicted of 34 felonies? Because we understand how corrupt the process was by which he was even charged, let alone convicted in New York. By the way, today we were talking a good portion of this hour about an appellate judge striking down. The dissent in this case was absolutely blistering. One of the judges on the Court of Appeals dissented and said, look, this was a political prosecution from the very beginning. He said, there's no other way to put this. everything involved in this smacked of politics. And to any objective observer, someone not completely blinded by Trump derangement syndrome, $500 million when there wasn't a single bank, a single lending institution that ever claimed to be defrauded. This was, I believe, the single largest damage award ever handed out under this law. Trump, by the way, is also banned for 3 years from holding any corporate role. He also cannot engage in any real estate transactions on behalf of the Trump organization. And there is a monitor that is in place, someone who has to oversee all transactions by the Trump organization. All of this is unprecedented. It's never been done before. This is something that just the amount of the damage award, the penalties incurred by Trump, it's all just totally unprecedented. And it's all done rather obviously because it's Donald Trump. If it was Citibank, if it was just Joe Blow real estate, of course this wouldn't have happened. Of course there wouldn't have been a finding of liability. Trump inflated his assets as though the institutions lending him money based on the valuation of that assets are just sort of taking his word for it. Okay. When we come back, we are going to get into the George Webb Burger promotion and the making of a Milwaukeean. That coming up next.
From the Lynch GM Superstore in Burlington Total Traffic Center.
Westbound 94, 22 minutes from the Marquette to Moreland. Then you got that heavy delay headed all the way to before Highway F with ongoing vehicle fire cleanup. The right lane now blocked. You're getting by on the left. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the White House Briefing Room Podcast with John Decker.
I'm John Decker. Join me weekdays for 15 minutes of no-spin White House coverage straight from the press briefing room. Subscribe now to the White House Briefing Room on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Ryan Harrison, owner of Ryan Waterproofing. If it seems rain hangs around your home coming down as insidiously delicate droplets or in buckets, and if neither, rain tends to lurk suspiciously in the atmosphere around your house, you probably have a wet, mildewy, leaky basement with cracked walls. No basement wall or foundation repair is too big or small for Ryan Waterproofing. We won't be the most expensive. The larger the job, the more you'll save with Ryan. We've eliminated bowed walls, cracks, spalling, seepage, and flooding in Coast Guard stations, museums, and countless Wisconsin homes. Ryan's waterproofing experts show up on time and do exactly what we say we're going to do, eliminating your water problems, restoring your home, even ending your negative obsession with rain. Imagine looking out the window for rainbows rather than obsessing about your basement walls and floors next time, every time it rains. Free estimates, affordable financing. Because praying for drought is overrated. Ryan Waterproofing, call Ryan.com. That's call RION.com.
This week with Annex Wealth Management, I am Dan O'Donnell alongside Dave Spano, the CEO of Annex. And this week, Dave, we are all about Jackson Hole. Why do we care so much about Wyoming?
Yeah, that's exactly right. A lot of the economists from around the world go to Jackson Hole and fish a little bit and drink and eat, but they also talk economics. And this is an annual event. This year is probably Powell's last hurrah. In fact, this will be Powell's last hurrah because he won't be chairman next time this event happens next summer. Why is it important? Because they're going to talk about should we have rate cuts or not. The betting markets are suggesting more than 80%. They're suggesting that we're going to have a rate cut in September. Hopefully that is the case, but you look at financial conditions right now and you've got GDP growing by 3%. You've got unemployment remains pretty stable at 4.5%. You've got corporate profits are strong. And in fact, we had a really good earnings season. This is all setting up for another good half of the year. Folks, you have to go through your portfolio and understand why you own what you own, why it's in the portfolio, how much you are paying for it. We do this on a daily basis. If you want a second look at your portfolio, we're here to help.
And you can get one at annexwealth.com. Throughout earnings seasons, throughout ups, throughout downs, they are with you as a fee-only fiduciary. They're not trying to sell you an investment product. And what I've found in my experience, in my own personal dealings with Annex, this is a very, very big deal. They're just looking out for you and your family's future. annexwealth.com. For Dave Spano, the CEO of Annex, I'm Dan O'Donnell. This has been This Week with Annex Wealth Management.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Lawsuit. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Do you have a written financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We have recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move to Creative Planning allows us to provide more comprehensive wealth management services to help with all aspects of your finances, including your investments, taxes, estate plan, and more. If you already have a plan or if you need to start planning, our fiduciary advisors can help. Visit creativeplanning.com to get started. That's creativeplanning.com.
At Bellman Homes, we have 55 home designs that we can build for you, all customizable, and each of them are stick-built with care by respected cream-of-the-crop contractors using only quality materials.
Bellman Homes, your home cleaning friend. It's Edelman again. Edelman.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's. Marketing in modern business means finding and serving your customers 24/7 wherever they are. WISN broadcasts are a powerful platform, but there's so much more. WISN's online digital tools are completely customizable, so you can reach your ideal customer through the iHeart app or by using software that actually finds your customers at a specific location or event. These tools are precise, efficient, measurable marketing weapons that you need to use. Combine the power and clout of WISN's broadcast and digital platforms right now. Go to newstalk1130.com. Keyword digital.
All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the Annex Wealth Management Studios. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Listen to Clay and Buck weekdays 11 to 2 on News Talk 1130 WISN Milwaukee. And make WISN the #1 preset on your car radio and on the new iHeart app. Free never sounded so good.
Good afternoon. I'm Sean Maloney. The State Department said Thursday that it's reviewing the records of more than 55 million foreigners who hold valid U.S. visas for potential revocation or deportable violations of immigration rules. Southwest Airlines says it will be adding daily flights from Milwaukee to San Diego starting in October. The company is also increasing the number of flights to Austin, Texas, and Miami. A 32-year-old man is arrested after a standoff in Fond du Lac. Police say it started just after 5 p.m. yesterday as the man armed himself with a box cutter and refused to let a 29-year-old woman and her 8-month-old child leave an apartment. The man eventually surrendered and was taken into custody. Checking the holiday automotive of Fond du Lac Sports scoreboard, the Brewers get back into a win column today with a 4-1 victory over the Chicago Cubs. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin News Center, I'm Sean Maloney on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
Clear and quiet tonight with low temperatures in the low 60s. Patchy fog is possible by morning, then more sunshine and warmer with a high around 80. Also a bit more humid. Slight chance for shower or storms early Saturday, then more sun. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Barrichello.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Stay connected and stay productive with Rapid Radios. Business owners trust Rapid Radios for instant, reliable team communication with nationwide LTE coverage, push-to-talk convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keeping connected has never been easier.
Order now at rapidradios.com. Bob from Redefined Realty here. I'd written my own ads for 20 years.
Creative genius.
Here. Same. Well, Inet's ads and 100 other businesses' ads. Writing your own ads, you kind of get stuck repeating the same message. Different words, but the same perspective. Before introducing Easy Home Bidder, Bob came to Inet to brand his brainchild, MLS Listing backed by auction. It's brilliant. MLS guarantees the home is found. Auction guarantees the highest sale price. period. INET branded it, wrote our story, knocked our marketing out of the park. When you think of selling your home, you know MLS and auction together is the right choice.
Redefined also benefits from unparalleled radio buying power, industry influence, and extracurricular enhancement of being part of the INET community. More than 1,000 businesses working together for each other's successes.
Websites, branding, design, video, and radio. INET is improving the economy one business at a time.
INETishweb.com.
CreativeGeniusMarketing.com.
Buyers, sellers, real estate for winners. RedefinedRealty.com.
Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go.
One of the things I loved about Holiday Mazda when I bought my SUV, the price was extremely competitive and also clearly marked, totally transparent. When you're dealing with friendly, knowledgeable people who are also straight shooters, you know what that does? It builds trust. Hey, it's Jerry Bott. I trust Holiday, and so will you.
Go where summer leads you in a new Mazda and lock in low 2.9% 72-month financing now on all-wheel drive favorites like the off-road ready Mazda CX-50, 3-row Mazda CX-90, and more.
Oh, we are all looking for adventure.
Connect with Holiday, where the Mazda More to Move You sales event is on, and drive inspired on the road ahead.
Living free, and I was meant to be free, meant to be free.
Holiday Mazda, Fond du Lac, and at holidaymazda.com.
It's worth the trip.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF, and see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
From the road to the roof, S&K will fix your plumbing problems 24/7.
Profound insight, piercing analysis. This is News Talk 1130 WISN.
Kowal Investment Group, now Creative Planning, is a registered investment advisor. Now for your business report from Creative Planning. For informational purposes only, past performance is not indicative of future results.
Good afternoon. This is Anthony Priester with your closing business report. The major averages fell today amid hotter than expected jobless claims data and disappointing earnings from Walmart as investors brace for Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech on Friday, hoping he will offer insights regarding the path of interest rates. Elsewhere, shares of Hewlett-Packard rose over 3% after Morgan Stanley upgraded the technology services company to overweight, noting that Hewlett-Packard's forthcoming quarterly results could be a positive catalyst for the stock. At the close, the Dow was down 152 points, the S&P 500 was down 25 points, the NASDAQ was down 72 points. From the Kowal Investment Group, now Creative Planning, I'm Anthony Priester.
Welcome back to the Dan O'Donnell Show, hour number 3 underway right now. A couple of chances to win. First, we have got tickets to Ride on the Wild Side at the Milwaukee County Zoo, September 14th, coming up later on this hour. Right now, though, it is the moment that you have been waiting for. Look, I recognize that this show is pretty much just filler around the iHeartRadio Music Festival Flyaway contest, and really, why wouldn't it be? Not only are we giving away round-trip airfare for 2 to Las Vegas, 2 nights hotel stay, ground transportation, and tickets to both nights of the iHeartRadio Music Festival, we're also giving away right now a $1,000 gift card. And all you need to do to enter is text the word Vegas, VEGAS, Vegas to 200-200. You've got until 55 past the hour. Plenty of time to text the word Vegas to 200-200. If you enter this contest, you will get a confirmation text and information. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. Very good lineup for the iHeartRadio Music Festival this year. It's taking place, by the way, on September 19th and the 20th. Maroon 5, John Fogerty. We've got Bryan Adams is going to be there. Let's see, who else? Sammy Hagar. We're not going to get into a giant discussion of Van Halen again. We have also got Tim McGraw, Ed Sheeran, Jelly Roll. You know I'm going to like this one. LL Cool J and Lil Wayne. I like the hip hop. Glorilla, I'm not really a big fan of, especially when she went to Milwaukee. Do you remember that? President Trump was speaking in Milwaukee. He was doing a rally at the Fiserv Forum, and Glorilla was performing on behalf of Kamala Harris at the same time. Plenty of very cool acts. Just text the word Vegas to 200-200, and you will be entered in our iHeartRadio Music Festival Fly Away contest. I came across what I thought to be a very well-written essay. It was just posted at jsonline.com, and I am, as you can imagine, highly critical of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel for its very overt liberal bias that oftentimes goes right past Biasville and into propaganda town. But I give credit where credit is due. It's written by Jack Albright, who is a recent Milwaukeean. He comes to us from near Boston. And I guess I really identify with this because he was a Marquette student, I believe is still a Marquette student. I don't know. He's not identified as at the bottom of the piece as a guest contributor, as I've never seen his byline before. So I'm just going to assume he's a senior at Marquette University. And one of my best friends at Marquette University, when I went there a million years ago, was a guy from Boston, Massachusetts, who, weirdly enough, coincidentally, at almost the exact moment that during a commercial break, I found this piece at jsonline.com, he texted me with a picture of the brisket that he was grilling and a Simpsons joke saying, "I know you are the only person who would get this, so I had to send it to you." This one really hit home. And it was about the day that Jack Albright felt like he became a Milwaukeean. It was yesterday while getting free George Webb hamburgers. He wrote, "I love Milwaukee. Exactly 3 years ago yesterday, I arrived at Marquette University for my freshman year. Since then, I've been lucky enough to meet some pretty great people from here who got me off campus and showed me everything there is to love about this city. Since I'm not from here, I needed the help. I grew up an hour west of Boston, Massachusetts, so the first time I drove up I-94 and saw American Family Field, I've since learned to ignore the sign out front and call it Miller Park. I was ignorant, eager to learn, no question, but ignorant nonetheless. Because of that, I know I'll never be a true Milwaukeean or Wisconsinite. Really, when push comes to shove, and I don't know if I can say this on the radio, it's a slang term for someone from Massachusetts that also means jerk. There's the word mass, and then immediately afterward, there is the word hole. Okay? I can say both of those words. I can say whole. I can say mass. I'm not sure I can put them together because they include a naughty word you're not supposed to say. He said, something I have conflicting feelings about. I've fallen so in love with Milwaukee and really all of Wisconsin. This isn't flyover country to me. I identify with this place much more than with Boston. It's that love and the inescapable, unavoidable truth that I'm an outsider that drives me to do as much as I can to at least feel like I'm from here. So in July, when the Brewers were at 11 wins and free George Webb hamburgers dominated newsroom chatter, I viewed my burger as another way to feel like a native. Sadly, it took another month, but the crew got the job done, and I knew I was getting my burger come hell or high water. Before I could, though, I was on George Webb coverage for the giveaway day, August 20th. This meant talking to someone who had been waiting since 10 a.m. The giveaway started at 2 p.m. to be the first in line. Another person who took time off work to secure his burger. It is what it is, he said. And a family that spent their day doing a hop, skip, and a jump from one George Webb to the next, hitting 4 in under an hour and a half. So some really dedicated people. It was 3:20 p.m. when I pulled into the George Webb on South Howell Avenue right next to the airport. I was giddy. I'd never heard of the giveaway lore before this summer and didn't realize how lucky I was to be here to experience it. Not because of the burger. I texted my friend after I ate that I'd pay $1 and nothing more for it, but because of what it represents. It's more than 2 buns, a patty, a pickle, ketchup, and mustard. It's a Milwaukee tradition almost a century old. When I pulled in, the side streets were littered with cars. The line kept growing farther away from the building, and the air was abuzz. Everyone was chatting with each other. A cement truck happily honked in celebration as it drove by. After 15 minutes, I had my burger in hand and new friends all around me. Conversations continued out of the restaurant and into the parking lot. Some lasted a few minutes, some were longer, all ended with some kind of nice to meet you. It taught me what this is really all about: community. These free giveaways seldom happen, so when they do, the entire city comes together. They're all celebrating the Brewers winning 12 games in a row, but they're all also celebrating each other in the place they call home. It's the latest of many examples I've seen of something I respect most about this place. People are proud to be from Wisconsin. Once I started noticing it, I couldn't stop. Yesterday was maybe the best proof. After I was finished eating my burger and conversing with locals, I hopped in my car and experienced something almost poetic. Driving back toward downtown, purposely over the Hone Bridge, my Spotify seemed to understand the weight of the moment. Bruce Springsteen's Glory Days came on. The Brewers anthem playing after my first George Webb experience in celebration of a historic Brewers winning streak as I drove over a Milwaukee landmark with the perfect view of downtown. That's storybook stuff. Springsteen had just finished the opening verse as I neared the Hone's middle. As I drove over the crest, as all of Milwaukee came into sight unrestricted, Springsteen bellowed his first Glory Days. With chills running down my back, I stuck my arm out the window, feeling for the first time like a true Milwaukeean. A glory day indeed. That's Jack Albright writing for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. He apparently is, while still in college, writing for them, going out and covering Brewers Burger Watch and producing one of the best essays on what it means to be a Milwaukeean that I have read in quite some time. I was very impressed with that young man's way with words. Very, very impressed. This was something I was talking about at length all week long, that it's more than baseball. By the way, the Brewers did beat the Cubs. They take 2 of 5 in that rare 5-game series at Wrigley Field, and they maintain a 7-game lead over the Cubs in the NL Central. They won their 80th game of the season, first team in Major League Baseball to get to 80 wins this year. It's more than free burgers. It's more than free anything, really. It's the fact that we all have this shared heritage. We all have this shared tradition. You instantly say George Webb to anybody who's from Milwaukee or has been to Milwaukee or who is ingrained in Wisconsin culture, and there's an image. Probably the first thing that comes to mind is 12 wins in a row for the Brewers, free hamburgers. 2 clocks on the wall, maybe. If you say the word bubbler, it's very rare that people will know what you're talking about. Most people from other parts of the country will say, like a bubble wand, something that produces, but no, a water fountain, what you drink out of. You say a time machine, people think of a DeLorean. Say time machine here because the company that made many of the ATMs was Time. People know exactly what you're talking about. There are supper clubs. There's up north. There's deer hunting season. There are things that make us uniquely Wisconsinites. And while I'm sure other communities and other states have their dearly beloved traditions, it feels like Wisconsin, more than almost any other state, has the most unique ones. Name me another place that drinks brandy old fashions. Almost every other place, it's bourbon. Name me another place that goes to supper clubs and not restaurants. I've lived here my entire life. I am still not certain what makes a supper club versus a restaurant. Relish tray, maybe a Lazy Susan. I'm not exactly sure. I know they've got to have prime beef, prime rib. I know they've got to have old fashions. I know they have got to have at least one waitress who has been there for 45 years. This I don't make the rules. This is what makes a supper club. We have something unique and something special here. We have festivals all summer long. Milwaukee, it was called Festival City because of how unique and how special those celebrations were. We have I believe, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, the biggest 9-day gun deer season in the country, where more people than in any other state at one specific period of time head out into the North Woods. I know no other state treats it as quite the deal that we do. We have, my goodness, we're very unique in that we celebrate. How many people from outside of Wisconsin celebrate St. Nick Day? Did you, when you were growing up, did St. Nick come to you, producer Jeff? You must have been a bad little boy. But clearly you were. You grew your hair out and started listening to heavy metal. You were worshiping the devil, weren't you? With that heavy metal music. It's a unique thing to Wisconsin. And I'm so glad that someone from outside of this community and outside of this state, even someone as young and relatively inexperienced as a college senior, has the wisdom to recognize how special Wisconsin is and to put so eloquently what it is that makes this community so great. You're listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. When we come back, we will talk with gubernatorial candidate and Washington County Executive Josh Showman. Stay tuned. We're back in 3 minutes.
More of the Dan O'Donnell Show is next.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
4145 southbound solid from Good Hope all the way down to Capitol. Got northbound delays starting at Watertown Plank and easing after Hampton. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Hi, I'm Willa Voss. I'm 8 years old. Mom and Dad own Cut and Go Tree Service. Yes, they did name me after a tree. Our family loves this country and the freedom it provides. Every morning, I look forward to starting the school day with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please say it along with me, even if you just say it in your mind. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. American patriots will enjoy a 5% discount for flying the American flag and mentioning this commercial when the Cut and Go remote control, automobile-mounted, articulated crane, grapple saw operators are putting your dead trees on the ground or removing large branches that grew over something important. An all-American Tons of Trees movement. CutandGoTrees.com. That's CUTNGOTREES.com.
We're the Libby family
At Do-It-Yourself Bathroom Center near State Fair on 62nd and Greenfield.
We're not a home center.
Everyone here is an expert who really knows their stuff.
Plus, nobody beats our prices. Remember our slogan,
I did it myself at Do-It-Yourself.
Restoring your home or business to its natural beauty is our only business. We are Wisconsin's most trusted carpet cleaner for over 75 years.
Edelman Carpet, Furniture, and Drapery Cleaning.
It's Edelman again. Edelman.
When it's 94 degrees inside and you've melted to the couch,
and a dog has claimed the fridge,
and the ice cubes have melted themselves out of misery,
and you've started naming your sweat beads,
then it's officially time to call Capital. We offer same-day air conditioning service 7 days a week.
And for a limited time, all our AC service calls are free when we make the repair.
Just call Capital. We'll bring back the brrr.
Old-fashioned service, you can't go wrong. Call CapitalCares.com.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. Make News Talk 1130 WISN your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app, powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Great piece at jsonline.com by a Marquette University student who also works for the paper. He's from Massachusetts, just outside of Boston, and felt like a true Milwaukeean yesterday while claiming his free George Webb hamburger. It was a wonderful tribute to our fair state. Joining me now on the phone, a man who wants to be governor of that state. He is Washington County Executive Josh Showman. Sir, welcome to the Dan O'Donnell Show. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Hey, I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite Wisconsin tradition?
Oh, it's got to be fish fry Friday night.
You know what?
The best supper clubs in Wisconsin. I was told there are no good supper clubs in Washington County, only in Milwaukee. But
I remember that. The mayor of Milwaukee, how do you feel about, he said, the only, very, very famously, infamously, I guess, he said the only place people go to eat in Washington County is Cracker Barrel. How do you feel about the Cracker Barrel rebrand that's being blasted as woke? Has your Cracker Barrel been wokeified yet?
Ever since Chevy Johnson made those comments, they've run Cracker Barrel right into the ground. So it's a sad day in America today, hearing about how terrible they're doing.
It is. I can't believe I forgot about Friday Fish Fry in my rundown of Wisconsin. I hit the supper club thing, but every place, I've never been to another state, and I've been to a lot of places in my 44 years. I've never seen another place that does Friday Fish Fry. Sure, they'll do it during Lent, but it's almost an afterthought. When McDonald's brings back the Filet-O-Fish, that's how restaurants treat their fish fry. But only Wisconsin has Friday Fish Fry as like a thing. And how about this? How about another one? The super loaded Bloody Mary. Bloody Marys on Sunday. I know everybody drinks it, but here they're like a religion. What is it? I'm going to get in trouble. What's the place in downtown Milwaukee? Producer Jeff, that has like a cheeseburger. Sobelman's. Thank you. Great friend of the show. I'm distracted today. I missed out on my free burger, and I'm sort of down in the dumps because of it. So we are here to talk about your run for governor. Before we do, though, I want to talk about damage assessment in Washington County. How are things looking? Were there FEMA assessors out there today? What's it looking like?
Yeah, there's some people hurting, that's for sure. And it's, finally 12 days later, we've got FEMA and Wisconsin Emergency Management out to this day. I still haven't heard from the governor, but I'm sure eventually that'll come too. It's a sad situation for a lot of folks. We've got folks that literally have their basement walls caved in, and others that have 3-4 feet of water in their basements and significant damage in many places. So our hearts go out to the people who are recovering, and we're there with them. I was touring throughout West Bend today. I was at the Emergency Operations Center in Germantown last week, and we are standing with our neighbors all across Washington County and Southeast Wisconsin, those places that have been impacted.
You, of course, are running for governor. You are one of 2 named candidates, but a poll reported on in the Daily Caller, dailycaller.com last week, shows that were Republican Representative Tom Tiffany to enter the race, he would lead a primary field with 40% of the vote, followed by you at 13%. This was from Fabrizio Lee and Associates, and this is obviously President Trump's pollster. It was obtained by the Daily Caller News Foundation. Your reaction to that, sir, because you've been campaigning since April. What do you make of that poll?
Yeah, I saw it last week, and no doubt Tom Tiffany has been a great legislator, great congressman up in the Northwoods, and I'd be interested to know who paid for the poll and what exactly the lead-up questions were, but that's not how these things work. But I was pretty excited. I mean, the county executive from the 10th largest county in the state, who really hasn't been throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars at ads this early, is already at 13%. So I think what's going to be interesting, and what I'm hearing boots on the ground tomorrow, by Saturday, I hit my 58 counties I will have visited in about 112 days. And when I have a chance to talk to people and tell them about who I am and what we've done in Washington County, truly translating results into reform. We want a breath of fresh air. We want the next generation of conservative leadership talk like that. And I remind them, the only 2 Republicans who have won the race for governor in Wisconsin in my lifetime, in my 44 years, are Tommy Thompson and Scott Walker, and both guys were under the age of 45, young, energetic Republicans. That's what I think the people of Wisconsin are ready for, and that's what I'm ready to work my tail end off to bring them.
Really? Tommy was under 45 years old when he was elected governor. Wow.
1986. He's 83 now. So that was,
I guess that
coming up on 40 years ago.
Yeah. And I know Scott was younger, and now I'm feeling like I've done nothing with my life. Although, sir, I'm going to ask you earlier in the show, because Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, campaigned on a promise of just throwing everybody her voters don't like in jail, and that was a list of 1, Donald Trump, I said I was going to run for Attorney General with the campaign promise to lock up, we said Craig Counsell, because he's apparently public enemy number 1 for Wisconsin. Who would you want me to lock up? If I could lock up, because this is apparently what we do now when running for Attorney General, who would you want me to lock up?
I still Jay Cutler to this day. I still just can't stand the guy. I'm sorry.
Well, he'd have to like sell bars of soap to get his cigarettes to do the Smokin' Jay Cutler meme if he's locked up. All right, that's fair. That's fair. You talked about hitting 58 counties, and that is admirable. Yeah. The biggest criticism I've heard of your campaign is that you're just not able to raise the kind of money that the other named candidate, Bill Berrien, and granted that's a lot of his own money, but also and especially a Congressman Tiffany would be able to raise, given the fact that we have seen in recent statewide elections, Republicans just get dramatically outspent. Do you think that's a reason for Republicans to worry about you as the nominee?
Well, money is a real thing in this campaign. There's no doubt about it. But I believe now we're over 800 unique donors all across the state, and I think it's close to 60 counties where we have people who have donated. So this is grassroots in every way, shape, or form. And our work isn't just going to 58 counties. We're burning up the phone lines, talking to donors, big and small, and that's what it's going to take. We're going to have to get people who have not been engaged recently. I hear it all the time. Folks who've given $1,000 or less saying, when we have millionaires running, they don't need my money. I need it more than they do. Why would I donate? We need to get them re-engaged. 1, 2. Everybody knows that the billionaires in Wisconsin, the ultra wealthy who engage in these races, need to be. They're critical for a conservative to win, and so we need them engaged, rowing in the same direction. And then we need to do a much better job of raising dollars outside of the state. So we're going to have a strategy from all three spots. But when I explain to people the history of the state of Wisconsin, and that was the process I went through before making the decision to run, you can go all the way back to the turn of the last century with Bob LaFollette or Lee Sherman Dreyfus. It's grassroots candidacies that win. And people, I'm up in Outagamie County right now. Yeah. People are telling me they want to see, they're tired of candidates that they're working harder than the candidate. Well, you're not going to have that with me. I will outwork everybody. There's no questions asked, and I'm confident we will raise the money to make it happen.
He is Washington County Executive Josh Showman. Josh, where can people find out more about your campaign? What's your website?
JoshShowman.com. JoshSchoemann.
All right, Josh.
But it's pronounced like the greatest showman.
It is. See, I knew you were listening. Last hour, I also said that you should drop some campaign lit with you dressed like Hugh Jackman from The Greatest Showman. Have you seen it? I feel like everybody with the last name Showman should be required to.
I have a million dreams. What can I say?
Oh, man. All right, sir. I was unfamiliar with your show tune game. How many Greatest Showman jokes did you get when that movie came out?
Oh, it never stops. That's the problem.
Okay.
It happens all the time. But I've never actually led a circus. The closest I've been is a county board meeting.
Not bad. All right, sir. Thank you so much. Best of luck with with cleanup efforts in your county. Josh Showman, candidate for Governor, Washington County Executive. Always do appreciate your time, sir.
Thanks for having me. God bless you all.
You too, sir. The pleasure is all mine. See, that's what you get here. You get frequent listeners to the Dan O'Donnell Show. Yeah, it was. I actually first met County Executive Showman when Chevy Johnson made that remark about Cracker Barrel, because I thought it was the funniest thing in the world, and he had a lot of fun with it. He was able to poke fun at himself, at Mayor Johnson, who deserves to have a whole lot of fun poked at him. And while Showman is correct that the candidate profile, his strength as a candidate is in his candidate profile. The fact that in what figures to be a big Democrat year, and look, it may be, it may not be. 2022 was supposed to be a big Republican year. It was not. But just history would suggest that Democrats are going to do better than they otherwise would, just because it's the first midterm after a presidential defeat. A new president is elected. Yes, I know it's Trump's second term, but obviously he pulled the old Grover Cleveland, non-consecutive terms. The party that's out of power does very well because their voters are so angry and so motivated. Well, look at Ron DeSantis down in Florida. 2018 was a massive blue wave year. He won in what was at the time a very divided Florida. Florida was probably the purplest state there was. Florida and Wisconsin. Florida, obviously, because it's so much bigger, was the big prize in pretty much every presidential election dating back to 2000. DeSantis won because he was a 30-something, early 40-something, energetic guy, military background, well-known, but he represented change. Like, he was a change figure in what is a change election. right? It's the party that's in power. Republicans, there's typically backlash to them, but in power in Wisconsin for the past 8 years has been a decrepit old Democrat. So the contrast there with Showman would be very, very strong. His weakness, and it is a significant one, is the money issue. It's the visibility issue. It's the name recognition issue. It's, oh, okay, Josh Showman, you say? Greatest showman. Boy, I wish there was some literature he would have with him in a top hat and a Hugh Jackman from the movie Coat, like Dan O'Donnell suggested. But in all seriousness, name recognition and then just spending the amount of money, the ability to spend the money to get people to know who you are, that is a big challenge. And it's something that, at least early on in this campaign, has been an issue for Showman. You're listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. It is conservative thought, not just talk.
From the Lynch Chevrolet of Kenosha Total Traffic Center.
894 southbound going to be slow from the Zoo interchange down to Lincoln, a break before you're tight again, Beloit to the Hale interchange, and then eastbound to 60th. Westbound just slow near Loomis. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by First Choice Heating and Cooling.
This heat is unbearable.
Keep your family comfortable with First Choice Heating. For a limited time, get $89 off your AC and heating tune-up. Milwaukee's trusted HVAC company, firstchoiceheating.com.
Do you have a written financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We have recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move allows us to provide more comprehensive wealth management services to help with all aspects of your finances, including your investments, taxes, estate plan, and more. At Creative Planning, we understand life is busy, and sometimes important things like retirement planning can fall to the wayside. So I'm here to remind you to take time to plan. A 1-hour complimentary consultation with our fiduciary advisors will help you get started on the path to your dream retirement. We will review your current financial situation, your goals and needs, and help you plan for life's what-ifs. Don't delay planning for your future any longer. And even if you already have a plan, a second opinion from our advisors can help determine if there are adjustments to make. Kowal Investor Group is now Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com to get started. That's creativeplanning.com.
Water running back to your foundation due to settling concrete can lead to extremely expensive foundation repairs. Even mold and bacteria in your home.
MudTech, 262-337-0934.
Puts existing concrete back to grade, keeping water away from your foundation for a fraction of patio or driveway replacement cost.
MudTech, 262-337-0934.
For a free estimate today.
MudTech, 262-337-0934.
Permanently fixes asphalt with state-of-the-art technology. Uneven sagging stairs and walkways are easily evened out for less than you are guessing with M to the U to the D to the T to the E to the C to the H.
262-337-0934.
The cost of having southeastern Wisconsin's premier concrete releveling and asphalt repair technicians at MudTech.
262-337-0934.
Restore your paved surfaces today is a fraction of the cost of replacement tomorrow. Call right now.
262-337-0934.
MudTechWorks.com.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare, this blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Have you been waiting for your pain to go away? And while you're thinking about it, let me ask you, has it? Well, instead of waiting, don't you think it's time you actually do something about your chronic joint pain? Hey, I'm Benjamin Yant, and once again, I want to tell you about the medical professionals at QC Kinetics and what they can do for you. There are thousands of QC Kinetics patients who will tell you they wish they would have done something sooner. They've turned their lives around with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies, no surgery, no pills, just long-term relief without a long recovery. Whether it's your knees or your hips or your back or your shoulders, QC Kinetics can help, and they can give you your best life back. Call them today. See if you'd be a good candidate. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
When starting a new home project, the first step is the hardest to take. Hi, Colleen here with Tri-County Contracting. And with Tri-County Contracting, the first step is super easy. Go to tricountycontractingwi.com. You can fill out a short form requesting a free estimate. Amanda will give you a call and schedule a no-pressure appointment with you. Whether it's roofing, siding, windows, or all of the above, we have you covered. If you are looking for an even faster roof price, we also have our instant roof quote button. Name, address, and email address, and you have your price on the spot. Easy first step. Then, all the steps after that, we'll take care of those for you. Getting you an easy-to-read, clear proposal quickly comes next. Then we can help you pick colors using our showroom or project map on our website. We pull the permits, we take care of materials and disposal. Our trained and specialized crews and project managers take care of all the install and cleanup. For you, it's as easy as one step, and that step is easy. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting.
Injured? Call Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Teachers often make a difference in our lives or the lives of our kids. Here's a chance to do something great for a local public school teacher. Nominate him or her in the iHeartRadio Thank a Teacher Powered by Donors Choose program. Nominated teachers will be in a random drawing to win $5,000 to stock their classroom with whatever they need. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Classical conservatism and contemporary style. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show. I was someplace I haven't been in years last night, and I will thank you to not judge me for it. What? He's already laughing. I went to Potawatomi last night. We were downtown, a couple of high school friends and their wives / significant others, and just had a wonderful time. There's a restaurant in Bayview on Kinnickinnick called Room Service. It's Thai fusion food, traditional Thai food. The owner, wonderful Thai lady named Joey. I'd never been there before, and I am not getting paid or anything like that. My wife and I were talking about it this morning. One of the most unique meals I have had in years. I just so flavor. I'm a big Thai food baby. You don't like Thai food? They do have sushi and stuff there, but I was shocked. And one of the couples, a good buddy of mine, suggested, why don't we go to Potawatomi afterward? Oh, all right, why not? Played video poker for a little bit. And I know I'm late to the game on this. The sports book that they put in at Potawatomi, wow. I was floored. I go to Las Vegas every year with a group of friends, dad friends. It's we are like the stereotypical middle-aged men arriving in Vegas. Yeah, Vegas ain't seen partiers like this ever. Meanwhile, we're like all in bed by 9:45. It's not that bad, but it's like typical. Just if you could imagine a tamer guy's trip to Las Vegas, it would be pretty hard. There's drinking, to be sure. There's gambling. I've been known to play a little craps and blackjack. We got one of my old friends, one of my dearest friends, my brother and I think we got him hooked on roulette. He had never gambled. He never played before. And he realized that you could split up like $10 in bets on about 15 different numbers. So he was addicted to it. But the investment that they made in the Potawatomi sports book was just phenomenal. It actually got me thinking as I was looking. I was kind of following the Brewers score as they beat the Cubs today 4-1. I mean, everybody's scoreboard watching. And I happen to be over at ESPN.com. Everything on that site, and I don't watch ESPN. I don't have time to watch TV all that much. I have a very busy schedule, as you could imagine. I try to get at least 9 holes in every morning. No, I've got the kids stuff and all sorts of, it's a typical dad, right? I'm a typical middle-aged dad, especially in summer. You want to, my goodness, in 2 months, it's going to be dark when I'm done with my show. So I've got to suck up like every last minute of sunshine. I was shocked at how much sports coverage now, because I grew up in the era before the Supreme Court ruling on sports gambling, how much it is based on gambling and how ESPN has just leaned into, and pretty much even the leagues themselves have leaned into gambling. I'm trying to set up the work fantasy football league. Someone dropped out, so we've got to find some other iHeart employee to take over. I already asked producer Jeff. He said he's out. We've got some invitations out. Should I ask producer Eric? Do you think he does fantasy football? Probably. Okay. They always sort of leaned into fantasy football, but kind of shied away from gambling. You would always have Musburger was the only guy back in the day who would talk about. Al Michaels would slip it in too. He'd talk about, well, I know a lot of people, and a lot of people are happy with that field goal that brings it to within 12 points. Okay, Al. But now it's such a part of the coverage. And there's no pretenses anymore about what it's really all about. It's for so many people. I guess I didn't realize how big sports. I was never really much of a sports guy. I played fantasy football for, if you can believe this. My phone is blowing up right now with all my high school buddies planning the draft. We have been in the same league together for now. This will be our 25th season. There are 6 of us, I believe, who have been drafting and playing in fantasy football leagues together for 25 years. So I always did fantasy football and that, but I just, do I want to put $100 down on the Packers? No, absolutely not. I work way too hard for my money. I sit in a comfortable chair in an air-conditioned room and say whatever I want to, even if it doesn't make any sense, for 3 hours a day. I mean, you see how hard I work, people. It is. I have to go home and just decompress for like 3 hours. I tried pulling that with my wife one time. We're out to dinner, and I said, "Hun, I need to just take it easy." She wants to talk about everything that's going on with her. And I'm like, "Hun, I need to take it easy. I need to decompress." She goes, "You sit and talk for 3 hours every single day. You can't talk to me for 10 minutes. And I'm like, she goes, "That's like half a second. That's like not even your opening monologue. You can't even talk to me about our kids." I'm like, doggone it, you got a good point there. And this is why no matter how good I am at arguing with the libs, I am fairly certain I have never once won an argument at home. Dan O'Donnell Show, coming right back.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Just under 20 minutes either side of 4145 between the Zoo and Good Hope. Northbound 43 up to Brown Deer, only 12. Southbound 25 minutes. Just under a half hour as well, eastbound 94 from Moreland to the Marquette. I'm Kevin Henry, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
Warshawski trial attorney Frank Crivello here. Folks, I'm Victor Harding. Frank is selected Best Lawyers 2024 Complex Litigation Lawyer of the Year.
More impressive is Victor Harding named Product Liability Attorney of the Year again for 2024.
It may sound boastful to mention these prestigious awards.
It's not boastful, considering if you or someone you love is injured, you need to know 2 attorneys from the same personal injury firm being chosen by other lawyers and judges for these caliber of awards is very rare.
Heaven forbid you ever need an injury claim made on your behalf. If you do, the quality of your attorney and law firm will have a greater impact on the outcome than even the facts of your case.
Former clients, other lawyers, judges, law enforcement officers, and even insurance adjusters,
often our adversaries,
refer their family and friends to Warshawski because they know Warshawski will achieve maximum compensation.
Injured? It is about the money.
Warshawski.com.
That's Warshawski.com.
Don't wait for the smile you want. Achieve amazing results with Dr. Eric Teibel from Elmbrook Family Dental with affordable monthly payments.
Elmbrook Family Dental.
Because a great smile goes a long way.
Your first time biking to work. Your new helmet? Secure. Your bike? Road ready. You got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee free with no minimum balance requirements. So even if down the road that bike needs a little maintenance, at least your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Josh from Infinity here. The roofing and exterior remodeling industry is notorious for painful, surprise hidden costs.
MJ here. We built Infinity with integrity, installing roof, siding, windows, and peace of mind.
Infinity's custom app eliminates costly, unpleasant roofing and exterior remodeling upcharges, showing in absolute transparency every detail of your project.
We pay less, you pay less.
Infinity provides multiple budget options, including financing immediately.
Warranted, guaranteed quality, installing peace of mind. InfinityRoofing.com.
Divergent Family Law offers free consultations for divorce and flat rate quotes so you can make informed decisions about your next steps. Our experienced attorneys are committed to helping you understand your rights and options. Your fair share or better, divergentfamilylaw.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
I believe in aliens, ghosts, and UFOs, but I don't believe you.
Huh?
I'm convinced the Earth is flat and the moon landing was faked.
Okay.
But when you say Hasselus Mattress don't have no employees, well, that's just crazy talk.
It's true. Hasselus Mattress showrooms are employee-free. Give our mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy.
Okay, sure. You probably they're real, too.
All our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. Free next-day delivery, too.
Do these mattresses come from Area 51?
We're talking big names like Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
And who's supporting your operation? The Illuminati?
If you need support, through Monday, get a free adjustable base with any new mattress.
That's what the lizard people told you to say.
Save on Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and more. And get a free adjustable base through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
You don't need to move up north to feel like you live up north. Trees on the Move has an evergreen sale on now. Save on 5 to 12-foot Black Hills spruce, Serbian spruce, Norway spruce, white pine, and more. Add to your landscape with 20 to 30-foot maples, elms, oaks, honey locust, arborvitae, junipers, and more. Trees on the Move has to clear 40 acres, and this is your chance to buy big and save big. Save up to 75% at Trees on the Move's evergreen sale, Monday through Friday from 8 to 4, Saturday 9 to 4, or see treesonthemove.com.
Your clear choice for more. Lisbon Store, screen and door.
Both grateful and humble for the unwavering support of our listeners. It's because of you that this is Wisconsin's most listened to radio station. News Talk 1130 WISN.
Welcome back to the Dan O'Donnell Show. Tons of stuff I wanted to get to, and only 3 more minutes in the program. I do want to talk, though, about to continue this discussion as we sort of ramp up towards football season. College football season starts, this weekend? Right? First college football games are this weekend. And then, of course, the NFL starts the Thursday after Labor Day. The Packers open up that Sunday after Labor Day, and then we are off to the races. The thing that sort of necessitated all of this change in attitude towards sports gambling and just the mainstreaming of sports gambling, which I'm not necessarily certain is a good thing. Anything that can form an addiction, anything that can have real world severe consequences. And obviously gambling away all your money can be much more devastating than even drinking it or using drugs. I mean, to just destroy your family's financial future, obviously standard disclaimer applies. If you think you have a gambling problem, please seek help. But the accessibility of online gambling sites like FanDuel, DraftKings, now the big one, I believe, did they acquire FanDuel? I don't even know. With all of the mergers, the ease with which gambling can be done online, and not just online, on an app and instant. And I mean instant. Everything just connected to an account. Boom, 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 money gone. They'll take it faster than even the government can. It's just a changing world, and it got me thinking now, as I have been sort of on a long-term trend of discussing and thinking about how artificial intelligence is going to change that. I wonder how artificial intelligence, with the dramatic capability, the dramatically improved ability to analyze trends. I'm sure AI has been used extensively already since its inception by gamblers seeking an edge and the quote unquote house odds makers and bookmakers to try to get an edge over players. But just the way that is going to be dramatically changing sports and sports gambling, sports analysis. We talk about how analytics and advanced analytics have ruined basketball with the three-pointer over-reliance and baseball with the shift and such. All right, a different topic for a different day, I suppose. We are back tomorrow, Friday edition of the Dan O'Donnell Show. Talk to you then, 3:06 p.m.